Now, new, live, and local, and every weekday from 8 to 9 a.m. This is the show talking about what you want to know, what you need to know, and part of Woof Boom Radio's mission to use our voice to build our community. The all-new Delaware County Today, presented by Muncie Community Schools. Now on WMUN, the Talk of Muncie. Here's your host, Director of News Operations and lead morning anchor, Steve Lindell.
Putting on my fake smile for the video room. Hi, hello, and good morning. People are talking about the Bearcats, even though Yorktown won the game last night. Chris Walker, bottom of hour. All things town, coming up with the manager who found his way back into our stead. That is moments from now, but first, we're talking about the weather. Today, the warmest we've had in a long time, but this too shall pass. Let's get meteorologist for WMUN in here. That is Paul Poteet.
You get the spring temperatures, you get the spring thunderstorms a lot of times. We've got both here in the next couple of days. Headed up to about 67 this afternoon, which would put central Indiana into at least record-tying territory. There'll be some scattered early morning showers, and then nice in the afternoon. The wind will gust up to 35 miles an hour. Tonight, dry, low of 45. There might be a few spotty showers toward daybreak and into early Thursday morning. Most of the daytime is dry tomorrow. And then late in the afternoon and evening, showers and thunderstorms that could be severe. Tomorrow's high, 64. Behind the cold front involved in this, only 49 on Friday, partly to mostly sunny. We'll lose a little more on Saturday, partly sunny, 43. And a few snow showers are going to be around on Sunday, only 36 then. It's the 30s Monday and Tuesday before we're back into the 40s next week. That's your expanded look at the weather this morning. Now more from Steve.
And yes, Paul Poteet, I was mumbling on you about the snow showers. I'm not a fan. I made a mistake, and I think I've jinxed us, and I'll explain right now. Chase Bruton, town manager, Yorktown. Hi, Chase. How are you? The mistake that I made over the weekend was I put our lawn furniture in the backyard out. I put it up.
This is a common problem with the false spring that municipalities see. They all start taking apart their snow plows and everything. I never trust it.
It's a bad idea, but if it happens, it's my fault. I've jinxed us, so I'm taking full blame. There's parts of the upper Midwest that have heavy snow and or blizzard type things that they're thinking about in the next day or two.
I blame the groundhog.
Continue to do as such. That is Chase Bruton, town manager, Yorktown. He'd be the mayor if they allowed it. I think it would be a good idea. I really do. The state legislature is not dealing with that, though, in this session, are they, Chase?
They are not. We think that we're going to see some SB1 changes in the language as far as the tax bills go.
Well, let's start with that, by the way, the state house work. Is there anything good that might come out of this short session that would impact Yorktown in a positive way?
There wasn't a lot of good that I saw coming out of it. Luckily, we were pretty insulated compared to some of the other communities in Indiana related to the SB1 funding challenges. And so we're sitting and waiting to hear how some of that language comes back. I sit on the IMMA board. I was the president the last 2 years, and I'm going to be in the past president position for the next year. And it's good because I get kind of firsthand knowledge of what's going on. I get it a little bit before all the other communities do.
All right. What's that acronym, by the way? You said IMAA, MOUSC. What is that again?
It's Indiana Municipal Managers Association. It's a subsect of AIM, the Accelerate Indiana Municipalities, which is essentially the lobbying group for cities and towns at the state level.
Okay. And with respect to AIM, you have an event coming up tonight, you said?
Yes. So every year the governor has an AIM legislative dinner downtown. And so I always make sure to attend because I like to get firsthand knowledge of what to expect coming from the State House.
You get a nice meal, too, don't you? I would assume.
You do get a nice meal out of the deal. I didn't get a hotel room this year. It was booked like first day, and so I'll be hauling back home at 11.
All right, well, let's go to some things. Yorktown, Indiana, a couple of nuggets and notes. I guess there's been some chatter about utility bills and maybe even some mail issues. What do you know about the utility bills to explain first?
Yeah, so we had 2 utility bill cycles when I first started here. We have migrated those over to 1 utility bill cycle, so everybody's utility bill is now due on the 15th. That's regardless if you get water, sewer, trash, or some combination of those 3. The 15th is when your bill is due every single month in perpetuity.
Okay, but now that's assuming you get your bill, and what I mean by that is you tell me there's been some mail problems, U.S. Postal Service in your area?
Yeah, so there was actually an article that came out about Chesterfield about them not receiving any mail for 10 whole days.
Wow.
And that's 10 business days, which obviously when we send out a bill and then it takes 10 days longer to arrive. Some people are getting their bills after the due date, which is not ideal. So we're telling people to call into the utility billing office. You can sign up for e-bills. I always like to put my stuff on automatic payments because I'm a busy person. I always make sure that the bills get paid for the town. Sometimes I'm not the best about checking my own mail and making sure my bills get paid.
I completely understand. The e-bills are convenience. It's also one of those situations where it pops up as a reminder. It's easy to keep track of, but you still got to, if you don't do the auto pay, you still have to remember to click pay on it. How do they, if they have any technical problems signing up for e-bills, is there any sort of assist that they can get?
Yep, we have 2 full-time staff working at our utility billing office. You can either give them a phone call or stop in at the office between our hours of 8 and 4 o'clock. Both of them are happy and well experienced to be able to get you signed up.
All right, Chase Bruton is our guest, town manager, Yorktown, Indiana, talking all things Yorktowny. Let's jump ahead to the fact, I think it's safe to say now that Yorktown is cleaning up.
We are cleaning up. We were very happy. We just got a new street sweeper. I would say that the taxpayers can be very happy to hear that we got the full life out of our previous street sweeper. It was literally falling apart. We did a pretty major repair on it last year to get us through the season, and then it completely and totally died, and we had to sell it for scrap.
All right.
So we got the full life out of our last street sweeper. We bought a new one. It was $250,000.
Jeez. Really?
I don't think that the general taxpayer understands how expensive some equipment is.
Yeah.
Like fire trucks, people are like, oh, it's like $300,000. You're like, I'd say $800,000 to $1 million, you know. But yeah, our street sweeper, $250,000. So the roads will be clean this year. And the nice thing about this one is it does not require a CDL to drive because it does not have air brakes. So we have more staff members who are able to operate the street sweeper than ever before.
Does that include you? Might you jump into the street sweeper? I think it's a good idea.
I generally try to stay off of heavy equipment. It is definitely not in my wheelhouse like that.
Very, very well done.
Yeah, but yes, I am legally allowed to sweep the streets if that's what the taxpayers wish.
This is Chase Bruton. He's not averse to pitching in whenever it needs to be done. I think you've even gone into rescuing cats and or dogs to help the fire department in other stories.
I have gotten a couple cats and brought them back to town hall. I've captured a couple dogs and taken them down to the streets garage. And then my favorite story is we had a storm come through, and I spent the entire evening all the way into the early morning with the street department chopping up downed trees and dragging them across the street.
It happens. You got to do the thing. This is Chase Bruton, town manager, Yorktown. We've had some nicer blinks of weather after the really hard winter stuff we've had for a little while around here. But let's look forward to not that far away when we have some music cranking up, right?
Yeah, so we have our chamber concert series. Again, it's been a super popular event. We have 15 concerts scheduled. We're looking at doing some upgrades to the Civic Green to try to make the the big concert area a little bit more insulated from minor rain. We've really had to do some cancellations when there was like drizzles because of all of the equipment there. So we're looking at adding some wings to that facility so that, you know, a slight rain doesn't cause a cancellation. Our first concert is May 29th. That's on a Friday. Everyone kind of starts gathering around 5:30. Music starts at 7:30, and we will be doing those every Friday through the summer.
All right. Last item I want to ask you about, Chase Bruton, Town Manager, Yorktown. If there was a sequel to the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, due to your recent travel woes, could you possibly star in that movie?
Well, I'll tell you that I've never seen the original, so I am well versed in traveling. Just a little side story. I take an annual trip to Europe to compete every year. I was in Lisbon, and then my buddies and I took kind of like a 5-day side quest to Budapest, and we got a large amount of snow. And all my flights got canceled coming back. So I ended up staying in Budapest for an extra day. But it was very interesting because I was getting emails and text messages and trying to help with the operations of the snowstorm. And people did not realize that it was 3 a.m. in Budapest when I was doing all of that.
One of those notes probably came from yours truly. At some point, we were to have one of these interviews in this very same video studio on WMUN, and I was very concerned. I hadn't heard back. Chase is the kind of guy, he's a fast replier. You know people, I'm sure, that are not that. He's a fast replier, very responsive and so forth. So I was worried for a little bit, and then I got word of what you were going through there.
Yeah, I every time I travel, I try to hit a new country every single year. And one of the struggles is that you do not know if your cell phone is going to work in that country.
Right.
So I have two phones. I have a personal and a work phone, and a lot of times it's one or the other. So sometimes I end up only being able to reply once I'm like back at my hotel and hooked up to Wi-Fi.
Right.
And then my phone blows up.
Because it's catching up.
It goes wild.
All right. Hey, anything else we haven't touched on this morning?
I don't think there's anything additional. I always appreciate you having us on.
We love it. Thanks a lot, Chase Bruton. All things Yorktown. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, sir.
Say hi to the governor tonight.
I will.
Get me a photo op. Could you get a selfie, you and the gov, and send that to me? I'd like to put that up on the screen here in the video.
Always like a line to shake hands and just like give a 5-second spiel. I'm never one of those people.
But would you do it for me?
I would do it for you, Steve.
Can't wait. Tomorrow morning I'll wake up and I'm going to have a selfie with I'm not me, but it's going to be him and Governor Braun. All right, that's it for Yorktown Talk today. Chase Bruton with us, with more to come on WMUN.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Fox Sports Radio. Did you know we're on YouTube? Did you know you can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube?
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up. You got some holy water in your bag, baby.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Covino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube.
That's strong stuff.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
As you know, managing maintenance, repair, and operations is never easy. But for the ones who always rise to the challenge, Grainger has your back. From professional-grade products you can count on to fast, dependable delivery, they're there to help you keep things running smoothly. Plus, their technical product specialists are here to help answer your toughest questions. And because Grainger knows safety is always a priority, they're committed to being your partner in protecting both your people and your facilities. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community Schools.
Back in our video studio this morning with Al's son, Aiden, working the controls in the Axia Command Center. Good morning, Al. We're glad that you're listening to Bottom of Hour. Chris Walker, the principal of Muncie Central High School, will join us for a regular monthly interview. One thing we will probably talk about was last night's ball game, and that is coming up on our screen right now for the video replayers. That was Yorktown hosting the Muncie Central Bearcats in a video-only cast last night from WMUN and Wolf Boom Radio. There was a final score that's not in front of me. I know that Yorktown was the victor, though, last night. That was a video-only cast. One of the other sports notes that we have from last night is also the Ball State men's basketball broadcast, which was on WMUN. It was a 69-57 loss for Athens, Ohio. The Bobcats win that one last night here on WMUN, presented by Pridemark Construction. Now on to our local news summary. These stories and more airing on all of our stations here in East Central Indiana, and now for you on WMUN.
A priority bill from House Republicans that already passed there deals with rising utility costs.
On Monday, it was the Senate's turn to suggest changes. One senator said the people he represents are having to choose between paying rent, paying their heating bill, and
paying for groceries. And 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but 2 out of 3 in that situation doesn't keep you alive.
Senator Rodney Pohl tried to make 7 changes to the bill, including getting rid of tax breaks for data centers. In total, Democrats offered 12 amendments, but none of them passed. Ryan Hedrick, Network Indiana.
Parker Health and Rehabilitation Center will host a hard hat tour of its new memory care unit on February 26 from 4 to 7 p.m. Administrator Logan Taylor told Delaware County Today what visitors can expect.
We'll have catering food in there, with some raffle baskets for anybody that comes by to see the new unit. We're just excited to get everything kicked off.
To RSVP, please call 765-468-8280. Do that by tomorrow. A Muncie couple is under arrest after police say they stole collectible cards from Target and ingested heroin during the ensuing chase. Fox 59 says 35-year-old Andrew Dart and 36-year-old Chalista Dart were identified by store employees as serial shoplifters who are occasionally violent. Frankton police said Monday a man was arrested after trying to show them a fake badge during a traffic stop.
It all started when an officer pulled him over for using his cell phone while driving. The officer asked the man for his driver's license and registration, but instead he handed over a badge and a prison ID and said he worked for the Department of Correction. Police checked it out and found he never actually worked for them, though the man later said he'd been fired last fall. He was taken to the Madison County Jail. Jake McDaniel, Network Indiana.
A Beech Grove police officer is dead, and the man police say shot and killed him is in custody.
We do have the person that we believe to be responsible for the police action shooting tonight, for the line of duty death of Officer Elliott. Kenneth Johnson is in police custody.
Indiana State Police Sergeant John Brine says Johnson is a 47-year-old man who shot 2 Beech Grove police officers Monday evening in an ambush-style attack at an apartment complex. Officer Elliott and the other officer were responding to a disturbance call at a unit at around 5:30. Tragically, he later died at a hospital. The other officer shot is expected to be okay. Johnson was found hiding in a laundry room nearly 5 hours after police say he opened fire on the 2 police officers. Jarrett Lewis, Network Indiana.
Mound State Park property manager Patrick Halter told our Anderson Journal morning show that the harsh and freezing conditions this winter could actually be a very good thing for vegetation at the park this spring.
I'll tell you what, there are many seeds that are in the ground that are super dependent upon the frozen temperatures. They need that to be able to grow. So it'll actually probably be good for them, for many of them.
Legendary voice of IU athletics, Don Fisher, was sold early on football coach Curt Cignetti. Fisher told WMUN's Delaware County Today his respect for the Hoosiers coach has only grown.
He's brought a national championship to the Hoosier Nation at this point, which is unbelievable at this point in time in history, because what he did is history-making.
Replay that full interview from Monday morning at WMUNmuncie.com. Middletown's Howell Farms has been honored with the Red Gold Master Grower Award at Red Gold's 35th Annual Growers Banquet. Star Press says that Howell Farms' production this year will contribute to more than 25 million cans of Red Gold tomato products. The state is giving Indiana farmers another chance to test their soil for free, a move leaders say could save producers money and protect their land.
The Indiana State Department of Agriculture is reopening its no-cost soil sampling program for farmers across the Mississippi River Basin. The goal is to help producers understand what their fields actually need and avoid wasting money on fertilizer they don't. State leaders say soil testing is one of the simplest ways to boost yields, cut unnecessary expenses, and protect water quality. Ryan Hedrick, Network, Indiana.
Sheriff Chris Nanos tells Fox News they're still hoping to find Nancy Guthrie. The latest developments showed DNA found in gloves a few miles from the home matched no one in the CODIS national database. Nanos said while that's true,
we do have somebody's DNA in those gloves.
What does the sheriff think happened?
I believe it was a kidnapping.
Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The Gathering of the Queens is so named to represent a group of Anderson women with goals to serve, uplift, and provide resources to neighborhoods. They have been given a March 8th deadline to move out of their space at the Anderson Impact Center. But founder Marilyn Collier told Oldies 101's Anderson Talks she thanks the center for helping the Queens grow.
It has just really been a blessing, and we just know that, you know, Mitch, I'm the kind of person, I have deep faith, so I just believe that, you know, greater is coming and that it will work out.
Schaefer Leadership Academy is accepting registration for the spring program Emergence, Personal Foundations of Effective Leadership. 5-week program runs April 9 to May 7 at Muncie's Innovation Connector. Read more about it at our free MuncieJournal.com.
The city of Anderson is proposing an 18% increase to sewage rates and 12.5% for electric. At a hearing last night, several citizens expressed concerns at the proposal, reminding the council that they voted to increase water rates last year. A special session and possible vote on the proposed rate increases slated for tomorrow evening at 5:30 at City Hall. Brett Busby, Wolf Boom Radio News.
More.
Hi, this is Pete Dahl with Sheriff Goslin Roofing. Winter is hard on all of us, but it's especially hard on the outside of your home. Extreme temperatures are really tough on an aging roof, and Sheriff Goslin is here to help. Remember, we can work with your insurance company, and if needed, of course, we offer financing for those who qualify. So if you need Sheriff Goslin Roofing, remember to call Pete Dahl, y'all.
Quality work since 1906. Sheriff Goslin Roofing. WorryFreeRoof.com.
WMUN is your home for BSU men's and women's basketball, presented by Pridemark Construction on the Gainbridge Sports Network.
Hey Cardinals fans, it's Voice of the Cardinals, Mick Tidrow. All Mid-American Conference games are right here for both men's and women's basketball on WMUN. Chirp, chirp, and go Cardinals.
Listen to the action all season long on 92.5 FM, 1340 AM, and on Alexa, say play WMUN.
Hey, it's Cavino and Rich. Have you ever wiped with a piece of dry, single-ply toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. It gets a lot better thanks to the wet, extra-large cleaning power of Dude Wipes. They comfortably clean up whatever TP leaves behind for no more maintenance wipes. Make the trade of the season and switch from TP and start experiencing the confident clean of Dude Wipes. Available at Amazon and at major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes. Best clean, pants down.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox, and do you ever feel a little bit awkward seeing your neighbor? Like you don't know what to say? Now, Rocket and Redfin found most of us want stronger connections in our neighborhoods, but only a third of us actually know who lives next door. But here's the good news. Connection doesn't need a big gesture. It just needs a first one. So today, start small. A wave, a quick hello. That's how neighbors turn into people you actually know. Find your newest neighbors at redfin.com.
When it's time to replace your appliances, Lowe's has you covered. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. And members get more like free delivery, haul away, basic installation and parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select major appliances. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 2/25 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, Florida. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowes.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community School.
Thank you, Tom Campbell, voice of WMUN. We have listeners all over the fruited plains of these United States of America, including Fishers, Indiana. I think that's the proper pronunciation. Is it Fishers, Mr. Principal, or is it something else?
Having lived there for many years, it is Fishers.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification there. Appreciate that. Chris Walker, always keeping me honest here on the WMUN Delaware County Today. How are you today, Mr. Principal?
I'm great. How are you, Steve?
Always better when I'm in the midst of amazing people like you, Chris Walker. What are you talking about? How could I be anything but?
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less, but you always bring the rays of sunshine to WLBC land and any and even the far-reaching land. But,
whatever. He's kissing up. I'm bringing up the website for Muncie Central High School. You can see it if you're on the video replay of today's Delaware County Today. You got a lot of things to be pleased about at Muncie Central High School, and one of the things is you're looking forward to an open house that is coming up. When's that, and what's it all about?
Well, it's actually tonight.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Very timely, but tonight we'll start at 6 o'clock in our auditorium. We are welcoming our current 8th graders, the graduating class of 2030, Steve. 2030, but our 8th graders will be there with their families tonight at our open house, again, 6 o'clock in our auditorium. So last time I was on, we talked a little bit about our Bearcat Discovery Days, which are opportunities for our 8th graders to come over during the school day. They got to meet a high school mentor. They got to tour the building. They got to select their classes for next school year. That has gone exceedingly well. We had 7 of those. Most recently, just yesterday was our last one where we had 8th graders from Southside and Inspire Academy. But just want to give a big shout out to our administrators who helped plan that, our school counselors who were instrumental in pulling that off both at the high school and the middle school. And our students. Our students did a fantastic job. Even though they're not Bearcats just yet, they're future Bearcats, and they did a fantastic job. And then our mentors, I've often told our folks at the high school that the best thing we can do is get our kids in a position, and we just get in the background, and they will always make us look good. So our students did a great job of welcoming in those 8th graders. But our open house is tonight, 6 o'clock at the high school, and we'll start in the auditorium. Be a very brief meeting, and then they will literally, hopefully their 8th graders that attended those Bearcat Discovery Days will take their families around and show them what they saw when they visited. Muncie Central.
I'm talking all things Muncie Central High School right now with Principal Chris Walker. The high school facility that you're seeing on the screen, if you're watching the video replay, is a wonderful, inviting place that has had some great upgrades and updates in recent years. Is a great place to learn. It's also a great place to sing and dance, with which I think there's less dancing than singing. ISMA, am I on the right acronym there? Thank you very much. Yeah,
our performing arts are always a big deal for us at Muncie Central. It's one of our anchors to what we do, not only for our school but our community. But our Indiana State School Music Association, or ISMA, District Solo and Ensemble Contests were held recently. We actually hosted one of those on February 7th over at Southside Middle School. So big shout out to Mr. Nathan Jones, who is our choir director, who was the brains and all of the logistical operations. He took care of all of that with us hosting at Southside. And thank the custodians and all the crew over at Southside for a great job. But we had several students, whether they were performing musically or singing, they earned gold or gold with distinction ratings. We would probably take our entire segment if I read off all the names of the students. I did do that on the announcements the other day. Mr. Jones sent me the list, and he said, I just think it's important. I said, don't say another word. I will read every one of these names in our announcements at the beginning of the day to make sure those students got their publicity for doing a great job. But just always proud of our students. They're so gifted musically, and even just watching them perform brings a smile to your face. But great job at District Solo and Ensemble, and good luck as they advance now to the state competition for ISMA.
He is Principal Chris Walker from Muncie Central High School in our video studio here on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio and WMUN, plus all the others too. I know that it is steeped in tradition at Muncie Central High School. So many things happen there that have happened for many years in a row. And Black History Month, the kickoff event, is always one of those traditions. What have you got to say about that event?
Yeah, it is, Steve. In my 10 years of being the principal here, I've had the opportunity to attend that almost every year that I've been here. Minnetrista is a great host. The MLK Dream Team and all the planning committee do a fantastic job. But our kickoff to Black History Month usually culminates for our high schoolers with an essay contest. And we have been very fortunate over several years to have a high school division winner from Muncie Central. And want to give a special shout out to sophomore Michaela Gibson. Michaela, as she wanted everyone to know when she was introduced to read her essay recently at the kickoff, was that she is a back-to-back winner. She won her 9th grade year, she won her 10th grade year, and she made a promise to me and her mom after the program that she said she wants to be there 2 more years. So I said, you go, girl. But Michaela Gibson, a shining star for us at Muncie Central, did a fantastic job with her essay contest and did a fantastic job presenting it at the kickoff. And a special shout out to her teacher, Morgan Leckie. Morgan is just fantastic. She runs our writing center. She's an English teacher. She used to be a professor at Ivy Tech. She just has a lot of tricks of the trade to make sure our students can express themselves when they write. And she does a fantastic job, and Michaela gave her a big shout out as well. But congratulations, Michaela, on winning the essay contest for the Black History Month kickoff 2 years in a row, and we look forward to seeing if she'll be back next year.
I bet you will. WMUN, Delaware County today, talking all things Muncie Central High School with Principal Chris Walker right now. Let's talk about an induction ceremony, please.
Yeah, our National Honor Society, which is very prestigious. Most high schools around the state and the country have a National Honor Society in their building. We have had one for several years. Always a fun night to attend. Very short and sweet ceremony, but it's very meaningful because we get to recognize our new inductees. And then the new inductees also get to pick an educator that has had a positive influence on them. We've had educators come, obviously, from Muncie Central, from other MCS schools. If we've had students that have moved into the district, sometimes we have educators that show up that were in Fishers or Westdell or other places. But they make the trip to be recognized by the students who are inducted. But big deal to be in the National Honor Society. It's a 3.5 GPA or above. And our junior class, were inducted on February the 10th, so just a little over a week ago. And we had 35 new inductees that were recognized that night. And just so proud of them. they're the glue of our building, you know. I mean, they're involved in so many different extracurricular activities, but obviously do very well academically. And if you want just an ounce of inspiration, spend just a few minutes with some of those students, and you'll realize real quick that we're really in good hands, and we're very proud of them. But we were happy to celebrate them in their NHS induction on the 10th.
We have an early release day to plan for all the families out there.
Yeah, we'll send this communication out again this Sunday, but our next early release day, we only have 4 of those this school year and moving forward, but our next one is next Tuesday, February 24th. That means the high school students will release at 1:05, so our teachers can gather for meetings that afternoon. And also a special shout out to Dr. Jerry Reynolds from Ball State. He will be coming in with a group of students and doing a board game simulation for trying to build trust and inclusion with high school students. And that we have several of our staff members have signed up to participate in that. We're also doing some AI professional development as well. So just a little behind the scenes of what our teachers do on those early release days, but mainly letting our families know that be prepared that your high school kids will be leaving at 1:05 next Tuesday as we do have that early release.
And Chris Walker, Principal, Muncie Central High School on WMUN. If I didn't say it first, he'd remind me right now that I misspoke. It was a long time ago. And thought the SAT was a SAT event. You weren't going to bring that up again, were you?
No.
No.
Off the air for sure, because you and I always with each other about a few things, maybe our golf games mostly. But no, you did say that. But hey, it always reminds me of us entering this to our families and introducing it. But our SAT administration is coming up. We're required to give that to all of our 11th graders. So 2 weeks from today, on Wednesday, March the 4th, our 11th graders and only our 11th grade students and our applied skills students will attend Muncie Central on Wednesday the 4th. As soon as our 11th graders are done testing, which will be at about 11:30, they'll get a grab-and-go lunch and then be dismissed early that day. And then for our 9th, 10th, and 12th graders, they will participate in e-learning that afternoon. It is synchronous, which means they do have to log in.
I still don't understand all those words.
Synchronous means at the same time. They're going to log in starting at 1 o'clock that afternoon so they can check in with their teachers, because we want to make sure that we still have an opportunity for them to get their assignments taken care of and have access to their teachers that afternoon. But our 11th graders only and our applied skills kids will come in during the day. But they'll leave a little bit early after testing is over, and then that e-learning with those meetings that afternoon. And that communication is going out. We're actually going to send that out to families this afternoon or this evening, just giving them that 2 weeks rundown as we lead up to Wednesday, March the 4th, when we'll give our SAT this year.
All right. Principal Chris Walker proving once again that there are so many things happening in your midst in this particular situation within the school district that we want you to know about. He wants you to know about. The teachers, the students, they all want you to. Well, maybe the students don't sometimes. They might not bring home all of those papers they're supposed to. I remember what that was like. Principal Chris Walker, thank you for the work that you and so many others are doing to help our youth, and have a great Bearcat Day, would you?
Thanks, Steve, and as always, go Bearcats.
He always ends with that, and you should. This is Delaware County Today. More coming in a moment on WMUN.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. 2 University of Notre Dame alumni have founded the Indianapolis-based medtech startup Kinetitech, which has developed a device known as the bedside bike. Attached to the footboard of a hospital bed, the device allows patients to perform lower and upper body resistance exercises. Co-founder Dr. Neil Gyrath says it helps avoid the effects of immobility.
Within 24 hours, your leg muscles can decondition or atrophy up to 2%. So if you add that up over the course of a hospitalization, like 5-7 days, you can see how patients who entered ambulatory, able to walk, leave not be able to walk.
The device is currently being studied at 4 hospitals in Indianapolis, Carmel, Bloomington, and Evansville. Ohio-based steelmaker Cleveland Cliffs is planning a major investment at its Burns Harbor facility in Porter County. The company plans to reline its blast furnace C at the steel mill beginning in 2027. This is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana University is shaping the future of healthcare with Hoosiers in mind. Advancing discoveries that become treatments for Alzheimer's, obesity, cancer, and rare diseases, and training the providers trusted to deliver them. From the lab to your local clinic, IU powers medical breakthroughs and the talent behind them. Discover how IU is solving what's next at iu.edu/impact.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
1, 2, 3, 4.
In 1964, the Beatles invaded America. And now you have a chance to see the #1 Beatles tribute band in the world. 1964.
Coming Saturday, May 30th to the Paramount Theater in Anderson. Tickets are on sale now at andersonparamount.org. 1964 at the Paramount Theater in Anderson on Saturday, May 30th. Get tickets at andersonparamount.org.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. America is listening to Fox News Radio.
Updates hourly on the Talk of Muncie, the new WMUN. Want to hear more? Replays uploaded daily on WMUNmuncie.com. Now back to Delaware County Today with Steve Lindell, presented by Muncie Community Schools.
One of our big focuses is always the news happening around your town and beyond. Fox News updates right around the top of the hour for national, international, world news, and the continued story about the Guthrie case in Arizona. Still a major head shaker in so many regards, and so sad to think about how many people are impacted and involved with some despair and or sadness there. Nothing new to report as of I'm sitting here right now on February the 18th at 8:46 in the morning. All right, lighter side of news. Let's go to a snapshot of your day. Today,
it's February 18th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is Pluto Day, celebrating the discovery of the former planet, which until 2006 was considered one of the 9 planets in the solar system. The actual discovery of Pluto happened in February of 1930 by Clyde Tombaugh. On this day in 2020, President Donald Trump commutes the 14-year sentence of former governor of Illinois, Rod Blagojevich. He was convicted of corruption. Nearly 7 million people are forced to boil their water in Texas in 2021 when a freak snowstorm pounds the state. In 2006, at the Winter Olympics in Turin, Italy, Shani Davis becomes the first black athlete to win individual gold at the Games, capturing the men's 1,000-meter speed skating race. The Ukrainian Revolution in 2014 begins as protesters, riot police, and unknown shooters take part in violent events in the capital city. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
on WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk, the talk radio of Muncie. On the sports part, I don't know if we've announced this publicly yet or not, so I'm not going to by accident, but I can tell you this. Cardinal fans, we have something new to share with you coming very soon. In early March, it will begin. That's all I'm saying for now. That's all I'm saying. That's a radio tease. I'm Steve Lindell on WMUN. I say good morning to my mama in Minnesota and Roger listening there. I'm certain of it. Sister Sherry left coast. I know there's California, Chicagoland. There's probably some of the Carolinas clicking in usually. You can always send me an email and tell you who you are. If you want me to keep it on the down low, I do that too. I keep the secrets with the best of them. That is WMUN@woofboom.com. That's an email, WMUN@woof like the dog, boom like the firecracker.com, like the interwebs. Next item this morning, for the record, I would rather eat rather than work out.
This is House Call for Health. Are there foods that have a similar impact on your brain as working out does? A recent study finding that the dry puckering sensation you get from red wine, berries, dark chocolate, or tea might just do that. The research from Japan finding that flavanols, plant compounds in those foods, might stimulate the brain, but not by being absorbed into the bloodstream, but by triggering a sensory response because of the bitter taste. A professor of the Shibora Institute of Technology in Japan telling Fox News Digital, the key finding of this experiment is that it first demonstrated how flavanol intake stimulation, likely the bitter taste, is transmitted to the central nervous system, triggering a stress response reaction that enhances short-term memory and produces beneficial effects on the circulatory system. Researchers say the concept is part of an emerging field, sensory nutrition. The study published in Current Research in Food Science. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health, Monica DeLuca, Fox News.
On WMUN, News Talk, Sports Talk, Community Talk. On the news side of things, we're just getting word right now. We requested an update from Ball State University about that shooting that happened on, over the weekend. It was late Sunday night, and they worked on that into Monday morning. Greg Fallon is representing Ball State University. We asked for some information. That was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We do know that, stand by, I got to make sure I have this absolutely in the correct fashion. There we go. He has confirmed it was a Ball State student, and it was inside the building at Studebaker West, a residence hall on campus. That's all they are releasing at this time. I asked a couple of other questions, but that is all they're releasing for the moment. When they tell us more, we will certainly tell you on WMUN. All right, time to remember baseball champions who left their mark on history. Fox's Gernal Scott has more.
Celebrating Black History Month.
This month, we tell the story of baseball champs who never played an official game together. Charleston, South Carolina's Cannon Street YMCA All-Stars in 1955 wanted to play their way to the Little League World Series. John Rivers was the team's shortstop.
We believed that we were going to win all the way if we were allowed to play.
But no all-white state team would play these young black kids. Handed the state title by forfeit, regionals wouldn't invite them because they didn't win on the field. But for preteen boys, Rivers said,
"All we want, play ball. We didn't care about all this stuff, the politics and all that."
The team did go to Williamsport as invited guests, and the fans there who knew their story struck up a chant.
Let them play, let them play. And they said that until we left the field.
Decades later, the Cannon Street Y All-Stars were honored in unimagined ways by Little League International and the Baseball Hall of Fame. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On WMUN, Steve Lindell hosting, emanating from our video studio on the campus of Wolf Boom Radio, south side of Muncie, Indiana. Another update to a story we've been following. The Ball State Daily News reporting yesterday on what they called a student walkout at the Burris Laboratory School. Students photographed there with not a lot of story involved. It was a photo gallery is what they put up at the Daily News site. I asked for some information from the Ball State University spokesman. Greg Fallon, again, did reply to that one as well and said that they don't have anything to comment on at this time. No comment to provide on this story. That's the words from Greg Fallon, Associate Vice President, University Communications and Digital Strategy, Ball State University. And I think, I got one more thing here I wanted to share before we get to our last item on our audio list. It is almost time for Night Market. This is from our friend Moth Danner. The Night Market is from the Muncie Makers Market and Mad Jack's Maker Force. And they're going to do this on the third Thursday, which is the typical thing they do, and timing of it at Mad Jack's. That third Thursday is tomorrow as we're sitting here at this juncture on the, is it the 16th? That's the 18th of February. All right, last item now. As Janice continues to recover, let's go to the 2019 archives for this one.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A girl in Chicago who raised money to feed the hungry
makes today's Dean's List. 11-year-old Alize Kashif set up a lemonade stand in a quiet spot outside of her home in Naperville, Illinois. Rather than keep the money for herself, she planned to donate whatever she earned to Feeding America, a hunger relief organization based in Chicago. After 2.5 hours, she had taken in $9. Her dad turned to a social media platform called Nextdoor, which aims to facilitate connections between neighbors. 50 to 60 strangers encouraged Alize to keep selling the lemonade. One of those strangers was Ben Hutchinson, a former TV news reporter in Milwaukee, and he invited Alize to set up her lemonade stand in front of his house in a part of town that has more traffic. She was then greeted by dozens of neighbors who had read her story on Nextdoor, so business was booming. True to her word, Alize delivered all of the money to Feeding America. Thank you, Alize, and to all the lemonade customers. You all made the Dean's List. Janice Dean, Fox News.
And it's not a great lemonade day today in Muncie, Indiana. We've got some rain showers around, but at the warmest day we've had in a while, 68 degrees and a little breezy. I'm going to cook some meat in the backyard for Nancy and I for dinner time, so watch out, neighbors. The smoke will be rolling. For Aiden in our Axia Command Center, I'm Steve Lindell. Delaware County Today on WMUN.
This year, feel better with the right mattress. Mattress Firm sleep experts